Ubisoft is doing it. They're making Valhalla more challenging thanks to a new nightmare difficulty they will be adding this Tuesday, September 7th. This update will also come with the 3 river raids we discussed before and way more, so want to touch on that patch in this video. And also on the roadmap they also revealed, which includes the update that will follow the river raid patch. So there's really a ton to go over. Good to be back with the Valhalla content. Really looking forward to September 7th. Of course, if you are excited for the new content as well, then don't leave a like on the video to show your support. And let's go. Yeah, still time to enter that current Helix credit pack giveaway. Link in the pinned comment. And be sure you, of course, are a subscriber of the channel before you enter. Winner will be announced in the update video this Tuesday. First, it was like, okay, when are they going to drop this big update? But now it's indeed confirmed for Tuesday, September 7th in the new roadmap. And I want to touch on this update with the river raids in a moment. But first, let's go over the patch that is coming fall 2021. So likely October 19th if they're releasing it 6 weeks after the September 7th update. Not a lot going on in the image. We see the longhouse, so your theory on what this might mean is more than welcome in the comments down below. But more interesting is that the Discovery Tour will be part of this update. And thanks to early footage, we already saw that they're taking a bit of a different approach, where we actually step into the shoes of people of the era, instead of like only learning about them through guided tours. It seems that we get 8 quest stories, including Norse characters preparing for their first raid and even building their own ship, and it's thanks to Petter and AndyReloads, who shared this in a recent video. Link, of course, to his channel will be in the video description. And they also shared names of characters we might be able to unlock as skins while we learn more about the Viking era and explore England without any combat, which of course the point of the Discovery Tour. And these are of course all familiar characters, so it might be that we're looking at a similar character unlock system as we saw in the previous Discovery Tour iterations. But a big difference is that we will actually get some substantial rewards now to take with us to the main game after like finishing this mode. In Origins, you got the white Senu skin after doing all the guided tours, which was a pretty big deal as there were no other bird skins in the game back then, but Odyssey lacked any meaningful rewards. Well, according to the game files of Valhalla, that is different this time. It actually seems that rewards for playing the Discovery Tour seem to include a brand new Elderman armor set composed of refined selected heirloom pieces taken from the Viking era, with the helm inspired by the Staffordshire Horde helmet, which looks really badass in real life, so I hope it's similar when it's likely fully upgraded. A new sword seemed to be included as well, called the Thane One-Handed Sword. I love the silhouette on the blade here, and it seems to turn gold when you fully upgrade it. You see footage here, by the way, shared by AndyReloads from Rider735. A new ship, early medieval tattoos, and also a horse mount should also be part of the Discovery Tour rewards. We have no images or like footage of those items yet, but good on Ubisoft for giving us an extra incentive to check out this free mode when it launches, again likely in October. It is interesting though that we're not getting a new festival, it seems, at the start of this new season. Are they even doing like a regular season? Because if we look at the previous roadmap, we see that it's all part of the Sigurblot season, while this roadmap has no mention of a season at all. I mean, there should be a 4th season, we even saw it in the post-launch trailer, but it would be fine if they skipped the festival this time around, like they sure improved over time, but they were always my least exciting additions to the game that only lasted for like 2 hours. It seems like the 4th season kicks off with the Discovery Tour, and then we likely get an update in November and then maybe December to round out the year. That's my bet. But now let's go back to the more imminent future, September 7th, where we get those 3 river raid maps. That would of course be 2 in Ireland and 1 in Francia. Dennis already went in depth on what we can expect from the new river raids in a previous video with info from my interview with Jose. I will link to that video if you haven't watched it yet at the end of this one. But yeah, the nightmare difficulty makes it actually way more exciting. Jose first said that they were not looking into a higher difficulty, but I guess he changed his mind since March when I first spoke with him. And we already saw an increase in challenge for if you wanted it, thanks to the level scaling feature, which made the enemies have a skill level if you really put it up to nightmarish. But Jose confirmed in that previous video that it will never apply to the river raids, because then you would also be able to scale it all the way down, and then the river raids would lose any challenge. but your game difficulty does impact the river raid modes. Like, I wanted to try it, but here you see me play on easy and I just obliterate these enemies with a few hits. So this also means that if you play on Nightmare when it releases, you will have a much bigger challenge in the new River Raid maps. Something that I know many of you have really been asking for, because they're like, okay, it's a risk-reward thing. Are you going back to your settlement or are you going to continue? Because if you die, of course, lose all your supplies. First, you would never really die, but I would imagine that if you play on Nightmare, that might be different. Very Hard right now increases damage taken for Eivor by 60%. So maybe with the Nightmare difficulty that goes to 100%. So you basically take double the amount of damage from enemies compared to the normal difficulty. I at least can't wait to try it out. Sounds really, really cool. And just like the previous River Raid update, we will also be able to find 3 new abilities, likely in the River Raid maps, and likely only with 1 level, as we saw with the Battle Cry, the Shoulder Bash, and the Berserk Trap 2 that were added in the previous River Raid maps. So, more free abilities, which is always cool, and I'm sure we might see new skills and a power level increase too, which we always see with every update. They also note new weapons and gear. Did someone say short sword? So that would be the second Oofbird sword. They already teased in an image, which means that we can get our second free sword, which is awesome. Other free items include the Lu armor set we saw in the roadmap, and we have some actually short footage of that as well. It's a Magister Fane armor camo, once again with the Fane cloak. Hope they change that up in the future. So not too exciting, but I do hope that we get some fun perks, or actually useful perks, so it's worth grinding for. And you might notice the face tattoo as well, which was part of that recent community contest. So I think at the launch of the update, we can likely pick up all those community tattoos via the Ubisoft Connect section of the game. Going back to the roadmap, because we see a new naval pack here with the pretty cool skull ship design. Andy already shared the individual pieces of this set, and this is likely obtainable in Fawn's shop for foreign supplies, as they will be used again, it seems, as we saw in pre-launch material. Although the armor and weapons are likely obtainable in the new maps, next to the sword we should also be able to get Rollo's axe, which looks pretty cool in gold. The Celtic Crusher Spear, which seems to look like this thanks to concept art, will also likely be added with this update, and these seem to be rewards for defeating the special champions that show up when the rivers get to a higher alert, and we seem to have a champion for each map. I'm really curious if this second River Raid map will make this mode more exciting. Like, there was totally something there when it first came out, but it got repetitive really fast with no real cool rewards to chase. So hopefully that will be different this time. We'll of course be covering everything here on the channel, stream the update when it goes live, and even stream before that to prepare for the update. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already to miss nothing. A like on the video would of course really help me out. Check out that video going more in depth on info I learned from Jose about the River Raid update, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye!